Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. I never would have thought that this would have been the opening for the whole match, or for the whole match, the whole pay-per-view. Pardon me, for the whole special event. I should say that instead. I really expected the Shield match to go on first, and when this first popped up and they started talking about the Daniel Bryan and Triple H feud, I was just like, oh, maybe they're going to do the whole big rundown of all of the things for the night that we watched for the past 2 hours. But man, Triple H coming out there and all that, total shock to me. And that really made me start second guessing what I had predicted for the rest of the night, because I figured it was a guarantee that this was going to end up being a draw. And I was just 100%, it has to happen like that. There's no way it's going to happen anything else. And Daniel Bryan wins by pinfall. He wins a clean match. And I'm like, God damn. Like, I can't be mad that I'm wrong, because it ended up being better than what I had ever hoped for. I never thought Triple H would have lost clean. And boy, did he lose clean. Good fucking job doing that. I bust Triple H's ass so much when it comes to that. And it's always about how he never is going to lose. He's always going to figure out a way around it and all that. Thought it was a guarantee, and he just flat out lost here. So that made this match so much better in my mind. And I actually really enjoyed the match. Another start to finish, credit where credit's due. Just a good, solid match. And I think it did a really good job of putting Daniel Bryan over as somebody who isn't just going to win by flukes. He isn't going to beat the people like the Randy Ortons and then lose to the more important people. He's actually somebody who they are going to put stock behind. So good way to start off the pay-per-view. A lot of passion behind that, a lot of energy to get the crowd even more pumped for the rest of the night. Just awesome. I loved it. Lego?
Absolutely agree with you, and they did not make this match feel like an opener. The entrance for Triple H was really cool from a distance, but when he got up close, it kind of looked goofy. But
when they did the part with his where he takes the mask off and he's just staring, and he seems like he's like some angry what the hell you call it, the LARPing people, live action role play, where it's just like, oh, my fucking helmet didn't come out right, Mom, or something like.
It was so odd. It was like from a distance. It was such a cool visual. I'm like, oh man, I can't. Oh, actually, I can't wait. Never mind. But yeah, getting on to the meat of it all. The match was awesome. It was a great backwards and forwards match. Daniel Bryan looked strong. Triple H looked strong, but D-Bry ended up picking up the win clean, and I was very happy. And I like the logic of putting this on first. If you're Triple H and you plan on wrestling twice in one night, you're going to want to go on first so you got as much time as you can to rest. So I love that. And with that, I'm just really happy with the way it turned out, and I couldn't have asked for a better result.
You know what was a good visual, though? The three women that were with Triple H.
Stephanie's legs.
Oh, God, Stephanie's legs. Yeah, talk about that. Jeez. Hot.
That was a good opener.
It's really like all you had to sum it up with, though. Just nice.
Nice.
Peyton, thoughts on Bryan versus Triple H?
I was not surprised that this would be the opener, and I don't know why you would be. I mean, they had to have all that time to make sure that they could have Triple H's fantastic entrance. That entrance was totally badass. I don't know what you're talking about being goofy. I think that's definitely my favorite Triple H.
You like Game of Thrones.
Second only to the one where he came out on the the throne the first time with all the furs on him and stuff. Triple H always delivers with his entrances. I mean, he was the only person who even got a semi-cool entrance last year. Too bad it got ruined when he got, like, splooched all over his stomach.
Second-degree burn spooge to make it worse.
Yeah, so at least nothing like that happened. I mean, you're talking about the worst thing that happened is he had an odd stare after he took the helmet off. Like, oh, well, not so bad. He got off okay. I thought the entrance was badass. The match I actually thought was fine. I thought it was very, very slow throughout the majority of it. And not just slow in a way you're building it up, but like overly slow to a point where it felt boring at a lot of the times. And understandably, Daniel Bryan knew he was wrestling 2 matches tonight, so he wasn't going at his normal Daniel Bryan pace. But something about this just felt like these guys did not deliver as much as they could. And, you know, Triple H only wrestles once a year, and that's what we got out of him. Daniel Bryan is just known for delivering so much. I mean, even when he wrestled those Iron Man type matches he did on Raw, where he would wrestle those gauntlet style against Antonio Cesaro or whoever else was involved in those matches, and he would put on a clinic at times in those. So I don't know, maybe I was just expecting more out of it. I did not feel like this match delivered as much as it could. I'm happy with the results. I would have been intrigued seeing Triple H go into the main event, but I'm perfectly okay with it just be Daniel Bryan, and we'll talk about the rest of the result as that goes on later.
Drew?
I'll start out with the entrance. I liked the entrance. I don't think it was too weird. Even with the awkward stare, it's whatevs. But the match I really enjoyed. And there's, it's Daniel Bryan, so all the marks out there are going to be like, oh man, it's the best match ever, all that stupid crap. And, that's that. But I thought it was a really good match. It was, I knew it was going to open up because it's the same reason, like, they're going to make sure that they have enough time in between, the beginning and the end for the main event. But, it's just the match itself, I really enjoyed it for what it was. Peyton might complain that it was too slow, but I understand why it was too slow, because the whole match was just Triple H just working on the shoulder the entire time. And, I'm fine with, like, stories that are being told like that, because half of these matches told a lot of in-ring storytelling. So I was fine with that. And yeah, I thought it was a really good opener, and I don't think it's gonna be a match of the year contender, but it's definitely a good match to go back and watch later on, as well with the rest of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. I was hoping that there would have been something that I could have added to the match of the year potentials for this pay-per-view, but as much as I think the majority of the matches delivered really well, there wasn't any that stuck out as that fantastic to me. So that's a little bit disappointing, but.
This pay-per-view reminds me of, it's not so much about how good the matches were, it's just the moments of what happened.
I absolutely have to disagree with you there, and we'll talk more about that later. But
Wrestle what?
WrestleMania's been odd. It's like most years we get a selection of really shitty matches and one really good one. This one seemed to be like solid matches throughout, and nothing stood out as fantastic.
I think we're going to be talking about this later on through different parts and all that. I think there's 2 hiccups for this WrestleMania, and outside of that, everything is, funny enough, a solid B+, A- kind of a thing. I don't think anything on this pay-per-view, as far as you boil it down to just you watch the match and you get rid of the whole spectacle and all that, I don't think any of the matches are 5-star match of the year kind of worthy, but I do agree with the whole, the moments are ridiculous. I mean, they're fucking insane. So, I will talk about those different parts that I think are the hiccups later on when we get to those matches and everything. And I'm sure everybody else will have their differing opinions. Any other last thoughts about this match before we move on to the next one?
What was up with Daniel Bryan's fuzzy boots? Were they supposed to look like hooves or something?
I saw that, and I forgot about that. But yeah, I thought the same thing. I didn't know if any of you guys had the answer to that. I thought it was completely...
I actually did find out the answer. They were actually done in tribute to Bruiser Brody, who used to wear fuzzy boots like that.
I thought, if anything, it would be a tribute to, like, the Barbarian or something.
He noticed Carlos Colon was getting inducted. It's like, you know what? Fuck you.
I actually think that might have been, like, a subtle jab at him.
Awesome.
That'd be a funny story to, like, when you're watching, like, the DVD or something like that, for them to just kind of be like, yeah, it was. Like, just one quick thing for anybody else that understands that kind of stuff. I got nothing else to say about this match because we'll tie more into the main event later on. But any other kind of thoughts before you go on to Shield versus Kane and New Age Outlaws?
Nah.
Alrighty. Next segment. Shield versus Kane and the New Age Outlaws.